Uh, oh shit. Who are you? Uh, well, Spider-Man. My true name is Peter Parker, and I'm Rainbow Brite, which my true name is Wisp, and I'm Twink, and I'm Starlight. Well, it's good to meet you, Rainbow Brite, Twink, and Starlight. So, what brings you here to Earth? Getting Earth ready for, for spring. Well, it already is spring, but putting more cast and light and brightness into the world. That's what I'm doing, you know. And I don't really know if you can call me an over good doer or not, because even though I have might that has been entrusted to me by God and Jesus, I don't really know you can call me a over good doer. Well, you put what? You have what? You put the might? You mean you put cast and brightness and light in the world? That is you know, and well, that's something to have on look for. Yes, and I do take my work very earnest, Spider-Man. I've been working as bringing cast and light and brightness in the world for 40 years. I've been working for God Almighty and Jesus, the Son, for about 40 years. Well, 41 years now. I've been doing that for a long time. And is that the rainbow strap or the cast strap? Yes, that is the rainbow strap, the cast strap. Many songs and tales are written about it. Well, and something, Twink said, we heard a lot of good things about you. Yeah, you heard a lot of good things about me. How I got one day when I was, when I happened to be out in an outing at Learn, and I got bit by a spider. And you might say that has to be a bad thing. No one likes being bit by a spider. But unknown to me, when I got bit by this spider, I didn't know that God and Jesus had given me some might, to do spider-like things. But I didn't know it at the time. And yes, sadly, when I was first, had this might, I didn't work it for the greater good as I chose to do it now. I did it to do, stunts, larks, And then one day, my Uncle Ben told me one day, or he told me many times in my life, he would say, Peter, with great might comes great answerable. With great might comes great being answerable. Meaning that if you have great might, then you're going to be answerable for that might and how you choose to work that might. And I didn't know that's what he was telling me until after he was killed. And then, I chose to work my might for good, to make my Uncle Ben proud of me, to make God and Jesus proud of me too, and I miss Uncle Ben. It's all right, Peter. It's all right, Spider-Man. Uh, sometimes we make mistakes, Sometimes we have mishaps. Sometimes we are sinful. And even though God and Jesus have atoned for those sins and have forgiven us for those sins over and over again, we're still sinful. But what comes sinful comes forgiveness. And I know God and Jesus have forgiven you for everything that you have done wrong, sinful or not. Just like I know God and Jesus have forgiven me for all the things that I've done that were wrong or were sinful and I didn't know, or knew was sinful but chose to do it, sadly. And yes, your Uncle Ben was right. With great might comes being great answerable. You see, when I came to a world and I came to a world that had no light, no brightness, no love, no kindness at all. And I was entrusted with the rainbow strap. But that was after I met Twink here. Yeah, she met me here. And Rainbow taught me to be bold when being bold wasn't always something I was, good at. And she also freed Starlight. Yes, she freed me, and we went through a waterway, to get the rainbow strap after we were in a waterway, and we seeked the baby, which was really the sword of light, which was God, and we didn't know it, and we got the rainbow strap. And then Wisp here, we all freed the rest of the cast workers, from a bird, a two-headed lindworm, one being in lockup in a hollow somewhere, the one being locked up in some kind of, chair, or, a seat with all kinds of fake shit being thrown at her, fake ghosts being blown at her. And don't forget how she beat the King of Shadows, but it was with God and Jesus working through her and with her to beat the King of Shadows, Twink says. And we didn't know that the sword of light was God, which took the likeness of that baby, that was hoping that Twink was hoping that Wisp would do the right thing. So you see, Starlight says, Uncle Ben was right. Being with great great might comes being great answerable. Yeah. I'm fully answerable for the might that I have too. Well, I didn't want to know, could it be likely you could show me a rainbow? Yes. Twink, you got any star might that I can shift in Starhurst? I can shift into making a rainbow here? Oh yes, here you go. Wink. Well, thank you, Rainbow Brite. And thank God and Jesus for making that rainbow as well. And also happy to hear that God and Jesus, forgive all for their sins and misdeeds and mistakes and mishaps. Yes, Peter. Yes, Spider-Man. God so loved the world, he gave us his only Son. His Son who was flawless, sinless, and holy. His Son who taught us many classes. A Son who hailed, a Son who freed, a Son who taught, and also a Son who gave up his life for sin. And for that, we always look God, and we always look Jesus, and we thank God and Jesus, and worship and love, and look God and Jesus. Oh, it's good meeting you, Rainbow Brite. And it's good meeting you too, Spider-Man.